Hello, my name is Benjamin Hart. I'm an American attorney and the Managing Director of Integrity Legal here in Bangkok, Thailand. As the title of this video suggests, we're discussing Thai retirement visas, specifically so-called long-stay or long-term residence visas, not residence visas in the traditional sense. For those who watch this video or this channel frequently, I've been talking about this ad nauseum. These LTR visas or golden visas, also called long-term residence visas, don't really provide long-term residence. They provide essentially a sort of a really long visa, and we're getting a clearer picture as to what this looks like. But a big question I've been getting asked a lot is, will those seeking retirement visa have to essentially volunteer for a tax audit in Thailand? Let me explain what we're talking about. And the best way to do that comes from a small excerpt from the Pattaya Mail, pattayamail.com. Article's titled, Thailand's 10-year visas will be launched September 1. This kind of an old article, but they bring up something that we're starting to see manifest, I guess. Quoting directly, and I urge those who are watching this video, check out that article in detail. I'm going to quote a small excerpt. Quoting directly, the LTR has detailed rules for the nomads, including showing a detailed contract, proving earnings over the past 2 years, and reporting annually to the Thai Inland Revenue. Inland Revenue, I think that's the British way of saying like the IRS in the United States, Internal Revenue Service. In any event, yeah, it's the Revenue Department here in Thailand. They're talking about this specifically in the context of so-called digital nomads. And basically folks that are working in Thailand, there's a different tax scheme that's been set up for those folks, and they don't need to deal with quite the tax burden. Well, I'm going to make other videos on this, probably not this week, but get into the high weeds on the comparison of the tax liability and actual practical tax liability associated with just kind of standard visas. But the point of this video is they're talking about the digital nomad visas or the professional visas, whatever you want to call them, and they're not ostensibly talking about the retirement visa in that excerpt. So there is actually two retiree categories associated with this LTR scheme. But the question is, will these retirement categories have to report to the Revenue Department? I don't know the answer to that yet. We're still kind of mulling that out. We're still sussing that out. We can't figure out exactly where things stand with regard to this. A lot of this is still pretty opaque. Again, not really anybody's fault. It's just come online. That said, it seems a little odd that some categories would need to deal with Revenue Department and others wouldn't, because the sole reason for this is people are going to be staying here long term. As we've discussed in other videos on this channel, there can be tax obligations just associated with being in Thailand, being tax resident in Thailand, being in Thailand over 183 days per year, per calendar year. So again, there are tax implications merely associated with physical presence. Thus far, it appears tax is a major component associated with so-called visas for quote-unquote digital nomads in a long-term capacity. But it remains to be seen, and again, even that is pretty murky at the moment, so bear with us. But it remains to be seen whether or not there's this same liability or this same obligation, I should say, attached to the retiree categories for these long-term residence visas, and that just remains to be seen. So as soon as we have more information on that, and I've gotten a lot of correspondence, people really want to know on this topic, I will try to suss this out and get a video out as soon as I can.